Chassidic gems on Parshas Vaeschanan. The pasuk says the way Moshe Rabbeinu was davening Vaeschanan el Hashem bo'eis hahi lemer. Bo'eis hahi lemer. At that time, he was davening very, very hard to get into Eretz Yisrael. And Rashi says that this was the time after he conquered Sichon and Og. He thought perhaps now Hashem will permit him to enter Eretz Yisrael. But Eis Hahi Lemer, at that time, the time that he was victorious over Sichon and Og. That's the simple. The Chassidic Torah say, and this is, I think, the most unique Chassidic Torah that I ever saw. But Eis Hahi Lemer means that time, the time that a person is involved in Torah and Tefillah, Torah and davening, the time is so proud of itself. The time is so happy that the time itself was zoicha, privileged, that it should be used for something so holy. The time itself is lemer, is speaking praises to Hashem. The time is elated that, these few minutes that I'm davening or learning, these few minutes, in my time, it wasn't 5 minutes ago, it wasn't 5 minutes before, it wasn't 5 minutes after, it's now. This time now is so elated that it has the privilege that during its time, Torah and Tefillah was learned. This is the meaning of how even a domain can something not even human can feel. How much we should learn from this, that human beings who are human should feel elated for the privilege of having the opportunity to learn Torah and to daven and do chesed and do everything Hashem wants. Even the time which is not human was so elated. Continuing Chassidic gems on Parshas Vaeschanan. So Moshe Rabbeinu was davening Vaeschanan el Hashem bo'eis hahi lemer. At that time, he was davening to enter Eretz Yisrael, and he said, that's the end of one pasuk. The next pasuk begins, Hashem Elokim, O Lord, my God, please let me enter Eretz Yisrael. That's the simple. The Chassidic Torah take away the period, and they say, Vaeschanan el Hashem bo'eis hahi lemer Hashem Elokim. And they interpret this to mean that the tefillah of Moshe Rabbeinu was that every single Jew should be zoicha, that bo'eis hahi, at that time. Which time? The time that it's ready for him to leave this world. It's ready for him to die. He should be zoicha, before he dies, to have a clear head and to be able to say, Hashem hu Elokim. God is my God, and he should accept upon himself Oil Malchus Shemayim, the yoke of heaven. What a privilege. Moshe Rabbeinu is davening that bo'eis hahi lemer, at that time, every Jewish person should be zecher to say Hashem hu Elokim, with a clear head. Continuing with Chassidic gems on Parshas Vaeschanan. This Chassidic Torah is going to tell us the secret of how to beat the Yetzer Hara. How do you beat him? So the pasuk says, "Vaneshev bagoi," we abode in a valley, and then the pasuk says, "Va'ato Yisrael," and now O Israel, Shema el achukim v'lamishpatim, listen to the statutes and into the mishpatim, to the laws that I'm teaching you. That's the simple. The Chassidic tell us the trick. What do we do to beat the evil inclination? What do we do? He's so strong, and he's so clever, and he's so smart, and he's such a genius. What do we do? So, the Pasuk is telling us a three-pronged program how to beat the Yetzer Hara. Number one, Vaneshev Vagoy. We dwelt in a valley. We abode in the valley. Okay, means this alludes to the Yom Hamisa. We're lying in a valley. We're sitting in a valley. In a valley, this is merames. This hints to us that a person should remember the day of death. That's the first step. If a person remembers someday he's going to have to die, and when he dies, he's going to have to give a din v'cheshbon. He's going to have to go through judgment in heaven. It's about things that he did in this world, about sins that he did. So, thinking of the day of death can bring a person to tshuva. Rabbi Yisrael Salanta, I think, used to say that sometimes people riding in the street and they see a funeral in the street. They don't put two and two together. Another person would say, wow, it could happen to me, and it's going to happen to me eventually. So I better start doing tshuva. I better start correcting all my misdeeds, all my bad deeds. So the first step is Vaneshev Vagoy. We dwelt in a valley. This alludes to the Yom Hamisa, to the day of death. Second step, it says in the pasuk, V'ato Yisrael Shema El Achukim. Shema. The second step is Shema Yisrael. Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. We have to think that there's one Rebbeinu Shalom who created everything, created us, and he prescribed for us a Torah to follow, and we have to listen to Hashem. This is what he created the world, and he created us, and he created a Torah, a guideline for us to follow. So we can't do any averos. We can't listen to the Yetzer Hara. We have to listen to Hashem. The third step is Shema El Achukim V'Al Mishpatim. This is talking about learning Torah. Person learning Torah can conquer the Yetzer Hara. If he learns Torah, the Torah will purify him and make him so holy that he will be far from doing sin. Those are the three things. To remember the day of death. Remember the day of death. And that will make a person think twice about anything he does, because he's going to have to give judgment. Yeah, he's going to have to go through judgment on it. The second is Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. Hashem tells us what we have to do. Hashem tells us what we have to do for our own benefit. And don't listen to the Yetzer Hara. Don't, because he's trying to make us stumble. He's making us sin. Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. Listen to Hashem. And the third thing is Chukim and Mishpatim. The Torah can purify. The Eibishter should help. We should be Zoicha to be able to beat the Yetzer Hara. Amen. Continuing with Chassidic gems on Parshas Vaeschanan. So it says in the pasuk, "Batzalacha u'mitzauchu," that it'll come the time Achris Hayomim, the end of days, when you will do sins, but v'shafta ad Hashem Elokecha v'shemata b'koilei. You will do tshuva to Hashem, v'shemata b'kolo, and you will listen to His voice. You will do tshuva. and listen to his voice. That's the simple. See the Torah telling us, wow, if a person does tshuva, you know how high he could reach. You know the level he can reach is so much. Shaftu ad Hashem alakecha, if a person does tshuva, he can reach such a level, v'shomata b'koilai, you will hear his voice, because at the times, in the olden times, they were holy people, they heard a bas kol, they heard a voice from heaven. You will be zeicha v'shomata b'koilai. The simple meaning of v'shomata b'koilai means you will do tshuva and listen to him, listen to his voice. No. But according to the Chassidic Torah, you will do tshuva and you will reach such a level, you will be able to hear the bas kol. You will be able to hear the voice and the guidance of Hashem. So we should be zeicha to do tshuva. Continuing with Chassidic gems on Parshas Vaeschanan. It says in the pasuk, "V'yodata hayom," you should know, and put it to your heart, Ki Hashem hu Elokim, that God is God, B'shamayim mimal, in the heavens above, V'ala'oretz mitochas, and in the earth below, Ein oid. Ein oid, what does that mean? There is no other one. There is no other God. Ein oid, there's no other one. That's so simple. The Chassidic Torah are telling us, you know something? There's one thing that a person has to know. One thing. I mean, it's good to know Shas and Poskim. It's good to know everything. But there's one thing that you must know. And that is, you don't have to know anything else but that Hashem is God in heaven and on earth. Ein oid. Simply Ein oid means there's no other God. They're saying Ein oid, you don't have to know anything else. Of course you have to learn this and that, everything, but still the main nekuda, the main point is God is God in heaven, in the heavens above and the earth below, and nothing else. Nothing else you have to know. Nothing comes near it, because that's the essence of everything. There's only one God in heaven and on earth. Continuing with Chassidic gems on Parshas Vaeschanan. Klal Yisrael heard the first two dibros, the first two of the Aseres HaDibros from Hashem Himself, and then they couldn't carry on. They couldn't do it anymore. So Moshe Rabbeinu had to be the intermediary. That's where the Ramban is going to learn this. Moshe Rabbeinu had to be the intermediary, and he said in Pasuk Hey, he said, Onochi Omeid Bein Hashem Uveinechem. I was standing between Hashem and you. I was the intermediary. That's so simple. We need a third party. That's so simple. Okay. Chassidic Torah tell us the greatest classic in the world. What's the thing that stops us, that prevents us from being good Jews? You know what it is? Onochi. We're only interested in ourselves. Zich. The Rebbeinu Shalom tells us, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do that, and then person says, yeah, look, I'll do it when I'm ready for it. Right now, I got to go shopping. I don't know what I got to do. Onechi, if a person is only interested in himself, that puts a separation between Hashem and the human being. Got to get rid of this zich, of this self-interest only, and do everything for Hashem. We should be zeicher to this. Amen v'amen. Continuing with Chassidic gems on Parshas Vaeschanan. It says in the Ten Commandments, in the Aseret HaDibros, it says that the Rebbeinu Shalom is Oiseh Chesed Lo Alofim. He does mercy, he does kindness, and to the 1000th generation. In other words, something that happened way, way before, Hashem could do Chesed even now, thousands of generations later. What does Alofim mean? Thousands of generations. That's the symbol. Chassidic Shutei Lachatel are translating Alofim instead of thousands, Aleph. It means an Aleph. Hashem does with His kindness with all those that are lower themselves, and they think that they're only holding by Aleph. They hold that they're only holding by the beginning. That they're starting right now. In other words, another person could say, like I have such a list of things that I've been doing all my life, great things, and I did this, and I did this, and I did that. But the humble person, the Aleph person, he's holding by Aleph. He's holding by, I'm beginning now. Don't count all those good things that I did. I have nothing. Right now, I'm starting anew. And those are the ones that are so humble that Hashem will do chesed for. We should be zeicha to be so humble. Amen.